What's up guys, it's Ethan here with another tutorial video, because people have actually been reaching out to me these last couple days, or actually my last few videos, people just saying like, hey, how do you get your game to look like that? And I didn't know what they mean at first, but this is basically the default view of the game. When you look at other ships in space, they typically just look like gray dots. You get to see their standings next to them, whether it's like gray or yellow. Sometimes they have skulls next to them, but for the most part, it's not a lot of information, and unless you specifically highlight the ship, you're just not getting a lot of information. As you can see there, we get some information, but it'd be nice to see all the information at the same time. So if you're tired of your game looking like this, you could easily have it look something like this. So it's honestly quite simple. I've been doing this for well over a year, and it's super easy to set up. So I'm going to give you guys a step-by-step process on how to set that up. All right, and first things first, just to let you guys know, this is a third-party tool. It's not technically supported by CCP directly or anything like that, but in my opinion, it's literally no different than using PIFA or EveMon or anything like that. And if anything, it's actually less intrusive because it doesn't require your Eve API or anything like that. So it's probably on the safe side, and I've been using it for over a year, haven't had any issues at all whatsoever. There is a way you can do similar brackets and stuff there's like in-game settings and options you could do to customize it, but I found this was infinitely easier, and I love the customization options that this third-party tool used. So I'm going to show you guys how to do it. Let's get into it. Before we download any software, we have to actually find a very specific file in Eve Online. So I would recommend you guys find out where you installed Eve. I would say 95% of you probably installed it into your C drive. So first I would go into local disk C drive, then users, then you click your name or whatever name that you have for your PC. And then from there, it gets a little bit tricky. You want to go to app data, local, CCP, Eve, and then here's actually where it gets a bit tricky. So at some point, I was actually using the Steam launcher to load the game. I stopped doing that because it just became a headache. But some of you might actually have two files here. One will say CC or Singularity. The other one will say Tranquility. What you want to click on is Tranquility if you have two files. But if you have a shared file like I do, it's likely because of Steam. Just click on that one. And then once you're in the Tranquility file, you want to click on Settings Default. And at the very bottom, it's going to say prefs.ini or Preferences, I imagine. You double click there. And right now it says brackets always show ship text 1. By default, this won't be here. So by default, this won't be here. So what you'll actually have to do is, I'm also going to leave a link to this line of text here in the description as well, so you guys can just copy and paste it on your computer. So you want to do brackets always show ship text equals 1. Click save, close that, and then you're pretty much done. All right, and here it is, but this is the default version of the brackets, or I should say ship labels. So if you're happy with this, you know, it being all white, and you don't want to download any third-party tools or software, you could just leave this as is. You can totally, this is still functional for the most part, but I feel like the majority of you, including myself, do like the customized labels. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that right now. All right, if you want the custom labels, down in the description below, there's a link to a website that's going to let you download it. It's called iciclesoft.com/eveonline/shiplabel or something like that. But once you get to the site, you just click download.exe, obviously. Once it's downloaded, you open it up. It might have you save it to a certain file or whatever, but this is basically what it looks like. It's actually really simple, super intuitive. As you can see here, it shows the corp name. You can change the different colors, the text size, all that stuff. I'm going to run through it very quickly with you guys. I don't really use the font size down here. There's a different area where you use it. Me personally, I don't, probably because I live in Wormholes, I don't really care what corporation people are from. So first thing you can do is remove the ship name. I feel like most people know, have ship names memorized, all that kind of stuff. So drag these over here. Other thing you can do is when you click that little hamburger menu in the top left, it actually changes the size of the text of that item specifically. I'm not sure why the font size down here doesn't work, but as you can see, we changed the text size of the name of the pilot to 12, which is obviously much bigger. We can also make this bold so it stands out a bit more as well. We can underline this. So you can obviously do a lot of different options. If you do want to change the colors of the text, which I do like using kind of like more bright colors like yellow, bright green, almost like a neon green. Sometimes I like to do like a brightish orange just because it's so much easier and it stands out typically with the background of a lot of the space backgrounds of Eve Online. And so what you do is when you have this green, you can highlight it, you can drag it to corp, you can drag it down here. And again, if you want to change the color, sometimes like a red is good or like a pink. Personally, I like some of the brighter colors, so we can drag it to here. as well. You can also side by side some of these as well. So if you do want to have like the corp and the name next to each other, but you want the ship and the speed, you could totally customize it however you want. So it's going to take a little bit of playing around with and getting used to for the most part, but it's super simple. It's super intuitive. I believe my setup, again, because I probably live in wormhole space, I also recently got a 4K monitor, so everything looks like really, really large on my screen. Especially when you'll notice this when you're on the G to undock, or if you're in really, really big fights, your screen and all these ships that are clustered together, it'll be pretty much impossible to identify who is who. So I would highly suggest this if you guys are doing some very light PvP, some maybe some small gang stuff. But if you guys are in like very, very big fights and there's like 50 plus pilots on grid, or if you're hanging out in Jita a lot, I honestly don't recommend this all that much, but I'll leave that, guys, up to you. So I believe my overview, I wouldn't say my overview, but my settings are something set up similar to like this. I have everything on 8. I have the name, I have the ship, and then the distance from myself right next to it, just to save as much space as possible. Obviously, you can change the colors, you can bold stuff, make it much easier. But again, I'll leave that, guys, up to you. So once you're done, you're just going to click export, and it says it will save users in a certain document. I would just save it as is, and then we're going to go ahead and jump back to EVE Online. All right, so the first time you undock, it's going to show the default brackets or ship labels. In the top right of your overview, it's going to say more, and I believe CCP removed the old overview. So whether it's the hamburger menu or however you guys can get to where it says open overview settings. So you want to open that menu in the overview, open overview settings, click the miscellaneous tab, or MIS, MISC, whatever. Click on that. Then you want to click import settings. And then from here, it has actually all the settings that you've saved. So I have a bunch of different old iterations of the custom ship labels that I have. So my global settings 4 is my most recent one. So I'm just click on that, click import. And that's pretty much it. So you will need to do a session change. Usually it just means you have to redock and undock. Sometimes you have to log out and log back in. But after that, the ship labels should be there. So go ahead and click on dock. Yeah, but as you can see, this is very, very straightforward, very fun. And again, you can customize the labels as much as you want. Sometimes the text is too big or too small. Maybe there's a color that you thought would work very well and it just doesn't. So yeah. That's pretty much it, guys. It's very straightforward. So I've been using this a lot in wormhole space for PvP. Makes it super easy to identify myself and others. And I did forget to mention earlier, when you actually do save the settings on that third-party tool, it'll ask if you want to use it for just courtmates or for everyone. I suggest you put it for everyone. It makes it a bit easier, again, to identify your courtmates as well as other pilots as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I will be doing some more Scope Syndicate skins giveaway down in the comments below. So go ahead and type in a comment. Do you guys use these type of settings? Did you guys know you could even customize your brackets or have ship labels? And if you guys are going to do it, let me know. And that's pretty much it. Hope you guys take care, and I'll catch you guys next time.